Hey friends, hey family, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Crystal Blue. I do Christian content and I also do what's called the Word of the Day. I also have videos and shorts of me and my family having fun together. So if you like what you see and hear, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. For those of you returning, happy Thursday. We're almost there. So today we're going to be reading from the book of Matthew. And basically we're going to be talking about one of the parables or stories that you may have heard about the wise and the foolish builder, the person who builds their house on the rock and the person who builds their house on the sand. Basically, in this, Matthew is saying how we need to take the words of the Lord and put them to practice, use them, build upon them as our foundation to live our life. Because if we don't, then we're being foolish, like the man who built his house on sand and then it sinks. But if we take the word of God and use that and build it as our foundation, that is our solid rock. That's that firm foundation. So when storms and trials and tribulations come, we may get, shook a bit, but we're still on that firm, steady ground. As opposed to if you build your house on the sand, if one storm comes and takes you out, you are done. There's nothing left. That's why it's so important to have that solid rock of that foundation of Christ. So I'm going to go ahead and read that to you. It's Matthew chapter 7, and it is verses 24 through 29. And it reads, "Therefore, everyone who hears these words of mine, put them into practice like a wise man who built his house on the rock. The rain came down, the streams rose, and the winds blew and beat against that house. Yet it did not fall because it had its foundation on the rock. But everyone who hears these words of mine and does not put them into practice is like a foolish man who builds his house on sand. The rain came down, the streams rose, the winds blew and beat against the house, and it fell with a great crash." So basically, like what I just said, if you take those words, that's your firm foundation. Your house may move a bit, but it's not going to come tumbling down like that house that was built on the sand. When Jesus had finished saying these things, the crowd was amazed at his teaching because he taught as one who had authority and not as their teachers of the law. And that's what I love about that. I always feel like, Jesus, he always spoke in like riddles and parables. Like they would ask Jesus a question and Jesus would ask them a question back. Like he would never give them an answer. It would be like, "Well, what do you think?" And he'd say, "What do you think?" He would challenge them and then tell them stories. And if they didn't understand the story, he would tell it another way. But he never really gave a straightforward answer. He wants you to kind of take the information and derive the answer for yourself. That's why I always like these riddles and parables and things that he always, would speak to the crowd. So again, if we take these words of the Lord, if we take this, our Bible, our weapon, and we use this and build it as our foundation for living a good life, then yes, we're going to have trials and storms in our life. Absolutely. They never said, "Oh, when you become a Christian, your life's going to be perfect." That's a lie. You're still going to have trials and tribulations. But if your life is built on the firm, solid rock of the word, then guess what? It's not going to fall. But if it's not and it's built on sand, down it goes like a stick house in a hurricane on down in Florida. It's going to blow away just like that. So it's so important to have the word as your foundation. You could try to go through life without it, but you will find it extremely hard. I'm not saying I'm not going to say it's going to be easy with it, but it's going to be a whole lot easier to have this as your foundation as opposed to if you didn't have it. So my question to you is your house built on the rock or is your house built on the sand? I would hope if you're listening to my channel every day that your house is being built on the rock because he is our rock and our refuge. And that's where we need to be. All right. I love you guys and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.